The Sunday Roundtable has assembled on this holiday weekend, and they're both wearing their Memorial Day white, I noticed. We're joined by Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Virginia Buckingham. You just heard Quentin Palfrey. What's the big takeaway from his answers, and what are his chances of catching up with Campbell in the polls, do you think, Marianne?
Here's the challenge for Quentin. He's run statewide once before. This is his second run. He's still behind in the polls and behind in fundraising. He has a lot of Democratic activists. I think that was from his first run. But Andrea Campbell is ahead of him in fundraising, polling, and name recognition from her run as Boston mayor. So all the claims he's making against her, true or not, he doesn't have the standing with voters to make them stick. We talk about that a lot. Quentin really needs some high-profile third-party validators to make some of these claims stick against Andrea, or he's going to have a very, very tough time catching her. It's her race to lose.
And what was your takeaway when you heard his interview this morning?
It's such a volatile year. The electorate is furious on both sides. So there's an opportunity, I think, for anyone who's a legitimate candidate to make a strong run. This super PAC thing, it could catch fire in this kind of election year. Who knows? I think it's up for grabs.
All right, the numbers are clear. The tighter the gun laws, the fewer the gun-related deaths. Massachusetts, we are one of those states. Senator Ed Markey says this is proof that the Senate filibuster must be abolished and the NRA isn't relevant anymore. Jake Auchincloss says it should be disbanded. Will the deaths of children in Texas make either happen, Ginny?
I think this is a time for people to stop yelling at each other and for serious people to come to the center and think about what can we really do and then do it. Do red flag laws, expand background checks. Try the assault weapon ban again. We did it once for 10 years. We don't know for sure that it did any good, but let's come to the center and talk and actually get something done. Stop yelling and politically positioning everyone.
Marianne?
Just quickly, yes, assault weapon ban. Deaths dropped, and the minute it didn't get renewed, went back up. Here's what everyone can do. You can vote in November, because neither one of those things are going to happen before then. And I'm sadly, and I hope I'm wrong, I don't think any changes are going to happen before November. But here's what is going to happen. People are sick of seeing everyone shot in a school, in a synagogue, in a shopping market. Go down the list. You're not safe anywhere. So women are looking at this, and they see Republicans who are working overtime to block women from getting an abortion, but they won't lift a finger to stop an 18-year-old from getting an AR-15. So women are going to vote in droves. They're going to vote for Democrats, and that's when change is going to happen, when the Democrats keep the Senate, increase the margins, and in the House too.
If we make this about politics again, if we make this about the midterms again, nothing is going to happen. People have to actually come to the table and talk and fix this. Just like Senator Rick Scott did in Florida after Parkland. And then he got promoted to the Senate. He was the governor then, and he passed a red flag law, and he raised the age to 21 to buy a gun. We can get this done if we stop demagoguing it.
Sure, Ginny, but yeah, he did that as governor of Florida. Yeah, he's in the Senate now. He's running the Republican Senate Campaign Committee. And guess what? He's not doing any of those things in the Senate. And that's the problem, because Republicans are too afraid of the base Trump voters. So politics is policy. Policy is politics. And unless we change the people in Washington, nothing's going to change.
But of course, how many school shootings will there be between now and November?
One every day. One every week. That's the record.
That's the ultimate question. Let's talk about some local issues. Mayor Wu has a new plan to revamp Boston schools following a scathing state report threatening state receivership. Education Commissioner Jeff Riley says he'll give Mayor Wu, quote, time and space to fix things. But then in an unveiled threat, he tells her that she needs to step it up. Translate what's going on here, Ginny.
Look, it's politics, and as Marianne would attest. Kids can't wait, though, for politics, right? So Charlie Baker's leaving. I don't care. Do what you have to do to hold Mayor Wu's feet to the fire. She came out with a plan after that veiled threat. It's a little bit of bureaucratic gobbledygook other than asking the state for money. Where's the commitment to expanding access to charter schools? Where's holding bus drivers accountable? She says she is, but they can be there 93% of the time. No, that's not good enough. 100% of the time. Hold her accountable and see what she can do.
Marianne?
This is a political show. We talk politics. Jeff Riley, that was a political hit job, period, full stop. Jeff Riley's been Commissioner of State Education for 4 years. Charlie Baker's been governor for 8. Michelle Wu, she's been mayor for 6 freaking months. That's it. And she ran on fixing schools. She's got kids in the schools. She has a better chance at fixing schools than Jeff Riley's record. Receivership, failure in Lawrence, failure in Springfield, failure in every state, every school they've gone into. And by the way, Jeff Riley, who then, to your point, says, I'm going to give you time and space. I'll give you 10 days to get them up with an agreement, and then drops this report 24 hours before she testified. So what's the agenda here? Where were they when Marty Walsh was churning through superintendents every 2 years? Where were they in the Boston schools? They're just finding out about it. And now all the things that came out about the Boston public schools under Marty Walsh only came out after he left. So let's look at the full thing here. Let Michelle Wu do her job. Back off, get off. And the only question left here is, why is this being done? Is it a political agenda? You have an axe to grind, Jeff Riley? Or are you looking for a job? Because the next governor won't keep him, and Charlie Baker's on his way out too.
Light a fire under her. That's what he was doing.
There's no need to. And as a result,
There's a lot on her plate.
Hold on.
There's a lot on her plate. Keep the focus where it
If you were
needs to
interested in
be.
being the next superintendent of schools in Boston, and you look at this mess, you really want to come in for that interview?
Well, that didn't start with Mayor Wu or Jeff Riley. That's been going on for a long time.
But why do it now?
All right, you heard Mayor Michelle Wu on OTR here just a few weeks ago saying she had not yet read the unredacted version of the Patrick Rose report. She says she has now. She isn't saying if she'll make it public, implying we might not learn much more. Does she have a choice, Ginny?
Well, what she actually said is that she wasn't allowed to read the whole report, which wasn't true. And now she has read.
Well, she suggested it, and I don't think she actually said that. She sort of implied it. Really.
Well, they were silent for many days trying to figure out what to say. So now she's read it. I think it's incumbent on her to recover from that mistake, which is everyone makes mistakes, and tell us as much as she possibly can about what's in that report.
And Marianne?
She's going to have to release it. And I think she was trying to coordinate it with probably the appointment of the next Boston Police Department superintendent and some other things that she's doing. And we're going to package it all up together and roll it out then. And that didn't happen. So she's got to put it all out.
She can't ignore this at this point.
Yeah, and I don't think she intended to at all. I think it was, again, she wanted to roll it out, and the rollout had hit a speed bump.
We're not done. More with the roundtable after this break.